I'm going to start today with a simple statement. Greedy people get got. Greedy people get got. I'll explain more as we enter our series, Get Wisdom. Hello, everybody. Mr. Brown here with Proclaim Ministries, and today I'm starting a series, Get Wisdom. As I mentioned in opening, greedy people get got, and I'll explain that in just a moment. And we're going through the book of Proverbs again. We're digging for some treasures. We've done this years ago, but this time we're going to do different verses to find some more treasures. There's so much to get out of the book of Proverbs. These sayings, these wise sayings that will, I believe, add life to us as we apply them. So again, you can get this through our Instagram, on YouTube, on our website, proclaimministry.com/getwisdom. But each day on Instagram, I'm posting one of these little, just a little image that has the verse. Also, you can get it through our text devotion. Every day I send out a text. You can find out more about that by going to proclaimministry.com/text and sign up. I also put it there on Get Wisdom. But this is the verse. You can get this free on Instagram if you follow us. Our Instagram handle is Proclaim Ministries. You can share it. You can repost it. Do whatever you want to do with it because it's free. But the verse today is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 19, which is kind of a strange verse because it's not, you can probably understand what it says because it's a wise saying, but there's more to the context. I'm going to read the verse. It's Proverbs chapter 1, verse 19 says this: "Such are the way of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessor." Proverbs 1:19. I think this is really deep. That when I said the greedy people get got, the fact that if you're greedy enough to steal and to do crimes to get what you want, you'll end up getting got yourself. And I think this verse saying the same thing because it says it takes away the life of the possessor. When you go out and get stuff and you're greedy, you get it an unjust gain. That means illegally, you do it wrong. It's going to get you back. When I grew up just saying crime does not pay. It doesn't pay because you end up becoming a prisoner of your own crimes. But in this chapter, Solomon is telling his son, give him some great advice. So I'm going to read through this. You can read it with me. I'll try not to make many mistakes, but I make mistakes sometimes when I'm reading on camera. That's just the way I am. But let's read it together. Proverbs chapter 1, starting at verse 10. We're going to go to 10 to 19. Yes, we're going to read 9 verses. Let's do it. "My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. If they say, 'Come with us,' let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without reason. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive, and whole like those who go down to the pit. We shall find precious good. We shall fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot among us. We will have one purse." That sounds funny to me, like thieves go really share. Verse 15, "My son, do not walk in the way of them. Hold back your foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. For in vain is a net spread in the sight of any bird. But these men lie in wait for their own blood. They shall set an ambush for their own lives." Verse 19, our verse. "Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessor." Now, I love this, and Solomon's giving his son some really good advice, and so doing us as well. And not to give in to people, don't be enticed by sinners, people who do wrong things. And this applies a lot to our young people because sometimes they don't have the capacity to understand that everything that looks good isn't good for you. You may see a group of friends who are doing some wrong things, and you don't see them getting caught. You don't see them getting in trouble. And so they may say, hey, get with us, get with this scheme, get with this thing, because we're making out big time. We are doing great. But you don't understand that they're setting a trap for themselves, because I don't know many criminals who don't get caught eventually. And even if they don't get caught, they don't get away with it. Because when you steal and you connive and you cheat, you have this conscience that keeps you in prisoner. Even if, like, I knew some drug dealers when I was growing up, and they were always on edge. Always, every time I heard a siren, every time I heard a car screeching, every time they heard something to jump. Even when they couldn't sleep at night because at any moment somebody could bust through the door and take them to jail or try to steal their product, right? And so he's saying, don't do this. Don't be involved with these people who want to set a trap for the people because they're setting a trap for themselves. They just don't know it. They have no idea. And so he's saying, hey, don't hang out with these people. Don't follow them because they're setting the trap for their own lives, right? But then in verse 19, I think he kind of broadens the spectrum because he says, such are the ways of everyone, not just those who were thieves, not just those who were doing these things. I think he broadens that net to say, such are the ways of anyone or everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. That means illegal gain, getting things the wrong way. It takes away the life of the possessor. And I believe this is something called a guilty conscience. Like you have this conscience that will just keep knocking on that door, keep nagging at you when you get things the wrong way. Whether you are running out with some gang members or doing some stuff illegally, or you just cheating on your taxes, cheating on that one test, that conscience keeps knocking on that door. And so he's saying, don't get things in ill-gotten ways or unjust ways. Get them the right way, because then you can enjoy them. Because if you steal things and take things from people and you do it in the wrong way, you become the prisoner of that thing which you got. Read what it says again. Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessor. You will lose every time you try to slip, slide, duck, and dive. You try to get around the corners and get things the wrong way. You try to surpass the right way to do things, because we don't like hard work. Sometimes hard work is not sexy. It's not cool, right? And especially because we see people doing things the wrong way and you see them getting away with it. Let me give you a really, really simple example. When I go to the post office, I go to the post office on a regular basis. And when I leave the post office, there's this turn. You're supposed to only turn right. But I need to go over this way. So I need to turn right, then make a U-turn and go back up to the shopping center of it, because I go to the bank over there. Often I see people look both ways and go down the wrong way. It's only a short spot. It's maybe 20, 30 feet or something like that they go down that way and then cut back because they avoid the light. And honestly, I've been tempted to do it, but I hear my mama's voice. I hear my mama's voice telling me, you go get caught one day, you go get caught one day. And so I just choose to do it the right way. And the other part of me is like, I hope they get caught. I hope they get busted, right? Because I can just sit there and smile like I didn't do it, right? So that's wrong too. That little pride be jumping up in me when I do the right thing. But the point is this, that's a simple thing. I think that's illegal because you shouldn't turn that way. And they may not have a conscience about it until they get caught. And here's the thing I love to talk to students about. Just because you didn't get caught does not mean you got away with it, because you have a conscience, because things come and go around. Things don't always work out the way you want them to work out when you do things the unjust way. So again, let's read the verse again. I'll read it from the Instagram post. Such are the ways of everyone who's greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessor. Proverbs 1:19. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this helps you to grow in your own faith. Again, I want you to read the whole passage, dig for some treasures. Maybe you'll see something I didn't see. But ultimately, I want you to join us as we dig for treasure in the book of Proverbs to get wisdom.